everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports.
Larry, they broke ground on this place in the year 2000, opened it in August. We count down to kickoff in what should be an epic one here between the New England Patriots and the Atlanta Falcons. They go play action here on first down. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Chris Hogan, 82 yards. And the Pats have taken the early lead. Not a bad way to start it.
And I think that was part of their script, because so many teams script their opening possessions, and whether it's just that possession or even deeper into the half, sometimes it's 15 to 30 plays. That had to be one in there where they call a shot play. Go for the big one, and they got it done.
Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And time to see what the Atlanta Falcons can do on offense. There's Matt Ryan, starting quarterback, just shy of 5,000 yards in that incredible season in 2016 for Matt Ryan. You look forward, he's going to be working with a new offensive coordinator, Charles.
One of the things I've always admired about Matt Ryan is his ability to embrace change, because he had the same type of a system, changed some coordinators early in his career, but the system was essentially the same for most of his career. And then he had a coordinator change in 2015 and had to adapt to a new style. And he did it so well that by 2016, he's the NFL MVP. So a new offensive coordinator is not going to change much for him. He's going to try to adapt it one more time to a new style, new ways of doing things, and I think he'll do it very successfully. And Brandon, I think Mohamed Sanu had a nice career while he was in Cincinnati, but he really elevated in 2016 in Atlanta. The most catches for himself in a single season.
59 of them, 4 touchdowns. Really a nice compliment to Julio Jones, and he was a nice compliment in Cincinnati. I don't want to say he's not a number 1 receiver, but he plays that number 2 slot well, doesn't he?
He does, and I think it's because of his versatility. He can play in the slot. He can play out wide. They can use him as a wildcat quarterback. He has thrown passes in the NFL. In fact, going back to his days at Rutgers, I think he threw 18 passes while he was at Rutgers. So you never know what you're going to get when Mohamed Sanu has his hands on the football.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. 2nd and 5. On 2nd down, Ryan. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. 3rd down here for the offense after the incomplete pass. From the gun on 3rd down, Ryan. And he comes back with one complete. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. Fresh set of downs here.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game. And when you watch Devontae Freeman run the football, you can almost close your eyes and hear him running the football, can't you? Because people just scatter. I mean, you know, when he goes through a pile, it moves in a positive direction for him. I just love how hard he plays the game.
1,000-yard season. He had 11 touchdowns last year. In March, 25 years old, so he's kind of hitting that sweet spot for a running back, isn't he?
He really is, and I still remember the evaluation of him coming out of college. He does everything well, but you weren't sure he had a dominant trait. Well, wrong about that. He's dominant just about everything he does, and I think that he's going to continue to elevate his game and seek a 3rd Pro Bowl in 2017. They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second, it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a 1st down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
And the kick for the 41-year-old is up and good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So the drive stalls out, but they are able to put 3 points on the board.
Yeah, just a yard or two shorter than an extra point, so no problems converting there.
Now Dion Lewis to return. And he will take it back only to about the 13-yard line here.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. Blunt, the lone running back. Here's Brady to throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Hogan. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Patriots in possession to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. On 1st and 10, here's Brady. Then he finds Danny Amendola. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll bring up a second down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Last year for Edelman, just below 100 receptions, 98, over 1,100 yards, 3 touchdowns. And, you know, it's a guy that gets a lot of pub for being that perfect receiver for Tom Brady and the New England Patriots. What's his role going forward?
I think his role going forward is to be a bona fide #1 receiver in the NFL, meaning he's not just a Tom Brady receiver. He's that guy for anyone. And he spent so much time proving himself as he got into the league, and just what you were talking about. Can I have a role here with New England? Now it's not just proving himself, it's continuing to develop in his craft. And I think he's going to just keep getting better and better. He never gave up on himself in his dreams, and he doesn't give up on any single play.
The former 7th-round pick, Julian Edelman, just continues to have such a... And that's going to be caught for a Patriot touchdown. Malcolm Mitchell, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Patriots add 6 to their lead. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder, puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
Incomplete pass on 2nd down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on 3rd.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. On 4th down, here's Matt Bosher on to punt. Back deep, Danny Amendola for New England.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. A beautiful fake. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Patriots take over. Here comes Tom Brady and the Patriot offense back onto the field. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
2 minutes to play here. Super Bowl 51 after this. Brady now on first down. Over the middle, it's Amendola. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure out the passer.
Throwing now is Brady. Gronkowski's got it on the crossing route. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. And give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. Gronkowski may have had to miss a Super Bowl with the injury, but he was active in that parade, and now he's back on the field. And I'll tell you what, something you mentioned to me is that he was a big cheerleader for his teammates, never hung his head through the injury, celebrated with him all the way through the title.
We've seen superstars in the past, when their team does well without them, they're happy, but they recede into the background, right? They get out of the way because it does hurt them a little bit. They do have pride. They want to feel like, hey, without me, they may take a little bit of a step back. But with Gronk, you never saw that. You saw him with him every step of the way, cheering his team on, happy for their success. They went 11-0 without him in 2016, but I know this, they don't want to try it again.
No,
they want the big fella back. Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And he'll have his man, that's Edelman. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. Julian Edelman, 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Patriots add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad.
The point after try for Gostkowski. And it's 21-3. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it ends with a New England touchdown. Gostkowski now, after the touchdown, he'll send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the Falcons now making their way back out onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
CD, wanted to get your thoughts just on the landscape of the offseason for each of these teams. Super Bowl in the rearview mirror, but so much going on. People look at the draft a lot. But there's a lot more that goes into the offseason for these front offices, is there not?
It certainly is, and even before we get to the draft, you start with the Combine, that's held in Indianapolis every year, and you have about 350 of the top prospects coming together to get their physicals and interviews and on-field performance, and all that will get evaluated along with their game tape. And then you've got the free agents, all right? That starts, I believe, in early March, where now the free agents can start moving around to different teams, so your team's starting to take a little bit of shape there, free agency, because then the draft's coming up. You're trying to put your team together with new draft picks, have everyone start to move in one direction, and then you have the OTAs and minicamps. You get to see them on the field for the first time, and we start to get a better idea of how these teams are going to look when the fall begins.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this is going to do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Now it's Ryan. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
No gain on the play there, second down. And the coach has decided to challenge this play. He has tossed down the red flag. Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself. Boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. That incompletion, Charles, gives me a chance to put you on the clock real quick. NFC teams last year that did not make the playoffs that might make a push this coming year.
Well, 3 that come to mind right away that we thought were going to be in 2016. Minnesota, remember the start they got off to before that didn't work out so well for them. Arizona, we thought they were a lock to be in the playoffs. In fact, many of us called them Super Bowl contenders. And Carolina, the defending NFC champs going into last season, they didn't make it. So I think that all 3 could return to former glory. I'm going to give you one way off the pace here. You ready?
Let's go.
The Los Angeles Rams. They get the young quarterback going, and that defense continues to live up to expectations. They can make a real strong push in the West.
They've got the D. You're right. They just need the O. They go play action here on first down. Wide open receiver complete. And he's going to be taken down, but not before reaching the 15-yard line.
And underneath routes and curls, you start to get those guys creeping up, wanting to make plays on the football. It's the equivalent of a change-up in baseball. You show your other stuff, throw the change-up.
And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. LeGarrette Blount taking it in from 14 yards out. And the Patriots add 6 to their lead.
The touchdown was scored by the runner, but the offensive line, they feel like it's theirs. They blocked that one up perfectly, allowed him easy access to the end zone.
5 plays there on that drive. And it ends in a touchdown run by LeGarrette Blount. Gostkowski now, after the touchdown, he'll send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time. And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. On second down, Freeman. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
That'll make it fourth down after a loss of 1. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
Taking it about the 16. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And that will come the offense as they take over. Now the Patriot offense set to take over again. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Brady again here on 2nd and 10. And he's got Edelman on the out route. That's complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Completed pass on 2nd down. Now it's 3rd down as the defense looks for the stop. Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. Over the middle, Julian Edelman. It's complete. And brought down, but the juke, the very nice juke, gives him the first down yardage there. 1 quarter remains in Super Bowl 51. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And this one complete to Martellus Bennett. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 13 yards there on the pickup. And it'll be 1st down, New England. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
Brady gives now to Bunt. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 6 there on the 1st down play.
The insistence of speed at every position is really seen at the defensive end spot. These guys in the old days were often outside linebackers. They just pushed them forward because they wanted to play fast and get to the quarterback or the running backs quicker than ever before.
A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
One of the feature points of the end route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
And almost intercepted. Would have been a huge pick in the end zone, but as it stands, that brings up 4th.
A missed opportunity for an interception would have killed off a drive. They had a chance there to finish things off. Didn't get it done. I guess that's why a lot of those guys do not play offense.
And it bangs off the right upright. No good. And this score will stay right where it is. And that one, my goodness, that was almost too easy.
Yeah, and you're not getting too many attempts shorter than that one. I don't think anyone got a finger on it. That's about as bad a miss as you can have.
Here's Ryan. Incomplete on the right side. It's Tammy. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35.
Now, coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Swings it out to the flat for Freeman. It'll go as a gain of 10 there. And it'll give the Falcons a first down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. A little under 2 minutes to go in Super Bowl 51 from Houston. We're back to crown a champion after this. Throwing again, Ryan. He's got time. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here, he throws it away, and now it's third.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete.
An extra corner on the field for New England here on third down.
Yeah, another DB. On third down, Ryan. And that is incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones is intended receiver, and that'll bring up a fourth down. Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for the fourth time tonight. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. The Patriots offense now, they work their way back onto the field. They come into enemy territory, and I don't care what the matchup is in the National Football League. You're up like this late in the game on the road. This feels pretty good.
Oh, it feels fantastic. Anytime you get a road victory in the NFL, that's a big-time accomplishment. And to do it this convincingly, that just tears up the script that every home team has, which is nobody comes into our house and pushes us around. They took care of business today.
Yeah, they pushed around, and now the final stages of this one.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
They'll run again with Blunt. Trying to turn the corner, but he's going to be stopped right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down. Boy, that's a lot of sirloin steak to be taken down for no gain, partner.
Are you trying to suggest that he is a huge man?
He is
not just a big man, a huge man.
Big boy.
Well, how about the credit then for the defense to be able to chop that big tree and put him on the ground?
I know back when you played, it took 4 of you to take a guy like that down, right?
Well, that's for sure. And you know what else? I didn't want to challenge him at dinner either. While we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore, I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
He's got a man. It's Mitchell. And he's eventually brought down, but not before he reaches the 39, just shy of the 40. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels.
And they just had another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
It's the age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And however it turns out, it turns out.
Brady going to look to throw. And that's caught inside the 35. He got 29 yards that time.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
Well, right now, maybe they're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone if they win big. In this situation, it's really tough to figure out how to defend because they have plenty of room to still take deep shots at the end zone as they just did there. Yet at the same time, you've got to be ready for the short throw. In this case, when you see the cue that they're going for the end zone, retreat and make sure you have a way to play forward, back towards the receiver, and have a chance to bounce.